Alright, so today I've decided to try out this map I got off the Steam Workshop. I can't pronounce it. It starts with an A though. There's not that many mods yet. You should be able to find it. It's like a fictional island, I think. But I'm gonna be doing a 1991 scenario. It's a meeting engagement, but most of the objectives are kind of on the enemy side. So I've given myself some extra points, but I let the AI choose my force. And they chose to bring a company of M113A2s, which is not bad for an APC, you know. M1A1s, awesome. And a couple of man pads, two sections of these pivots, which, you know, can help you against helicopters. I like using them in direct fire against infantry and stuff like, you know, APCs. But nothing too special. They didn't give us Bradleys or anything. I mean, these tanks are great. But I did get some artillery. They don't give you very much when you play as America. Not as much as the Soviets. I brought, or the AI gave me an AH-1F section, or whatever you would call this, sortie. Two of them. These are pretty good. Not the best, not the worst. Pretty good for a helicopter. And then these with the cluster bombs. I think these will be pretty useful. Um, a slight advantage, like normally you would want, like if you were doing it in advanced mode scenario, you would be getting like triple what the other side has. I've given myself like 1,000 extra points, so I have like around 5,000 points. They have around 4,000, so this shouldn't be too difficult. The real challenge is trying to see how few units I can lose. Now I have opted for like a very aggressive advance. This one should be easy. They kind of gave this one to me. All this was chosen by the AI. This one's basically free. We just have to hold it. So I put one platoon of mech straight on the objective and told them to defend. Move there quickly and defend. Is that what that is? It looks like I may have used an unload order. I'm glad I checked that. And then unload and then defend. Okay. And then these guys will be behind them. Unfortunately, they don't have an HQ. So like when I choose, we have one here. When I choose my units, I usually go ahead and get a motorized HQ because it's only like 42 points or something. And I'll, you know, assign that to the other company or whatever. But since we only got one, I have to choose, so I'm bringing them in the main attack. And these guys, nothing too fancy. They're just going to try and move up the right and deploy along this wood line. And I'm leaving them in this column formation because that will allow me to just, once they get to here, I can just start microing them out into the woods. I don't have to, but it would probably be better to do that. I've laid some smoke because there's some tall buildings up here that can see a lot. If they make it to here, which they can put their scouts anywhere in this area, it's like no man's land. Then they could see, well, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. They would see some stuff over here potentially. They would see guys passing through here. But really, this is the spot that's going to suck if they put dudes there. So let's see how I've elected to use my mortars to launch smoke. Now that I'm looking at it, now that I'm looking at the line of sight for this, it's not even all that, well, they could see there. It may be better to just use my mortars to just bomb the crap out of this in case there's enemies in there. But honestly, by the time these guys get there, since we're assaulting quickly, put them in the woods. I might regret that, but let's just see where this goes. I'll probably call in my air support pretty early on, because if you win the spotting race, you usually win the battle. That's how warfare just works, you know. So if you can clear this area out early on, that's why it's so good, even though it's expensive, to instead of bringing these, to bring the Bradleys, because the Soviets will often have, especially if it's like a second rate Eastern Bloc country, like they'll often have those PT-76, I think they're called, light tanks as their recon, and those have like really shitty optics and stuff like that, so you could reliably just shred them with the Bradleys. And if you can, like I said, if you can win the Scout War, I don't know what it's actually called, but that's what I call it. If you can win the Scout War, everything else becomes so much smoother. Because if you leave some of their scouts alive, which I like to bump up, so normally it gives you like 5% recon. I think that's kind of shitty and unrealistic. I don't know if it's unrealistic. It just feels like, you know, in reality, you would want more than like 2 guys for this entire area. You would want to like be able to cover it reliably. And so both sides have access to more recon than you would normally get like on default settings, and I always like to do that. The thing is, if one of them survives in a good position, they're going to be calling in accurate fire missions on you. It's going to make your movements difficult. You're not going to be able to hold a position for very long. And I'm not sure if 4,000 points is enough for the AI to choose artillery. They may have like a helicopter and a plane. We'll see though. Let's just launch into it without all this talking. Okay, we've spotted some stuff. Looks like they've chose to bring the armored car recon. It's not the end of the world. I could beat that thing up with these guys. I might just do that just for fun. Oh, we ran into some enemy recon. That shouldn't be that serious. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have these guys fast move to here. No, just advance. It won't be a fast move. And then move to contact. Hopefully I can get those guys. I'm not sure what they can actually see from there. Not a whole lot, honestly. It's not gonna help them very much. Alright. And once the smoke is out, there's plenty of target. I don't want my aircraft to fire at these guys. That would be a huge waste. Do you guys have smoke? Deploy smoke. We don't want to get killed before we get a position. Alright, I know what I want to do now. I want my cluster munitions. All guns. Cluster. We're just gonna go ahead and rock them with, well, we'll use half. We'll use 60. Not too crazy, but enough to really hurt. I'll do fire at my command in case they move before it's called in. And we'll just see about hitting this area. I should have denoted like where no man's land ends so that I could see it. That would let me know if these are scout units or not, because it wouldn't be worth it. They're definitely going to want to go that way, so maybe to the right a little bit. We'll just roll with that. I'm going to start calling in some mortars just a little bit to like harass them, pick up some dust. They're definitely coming in through that area, so I wish they were like not. What is that? Oh yeah, there we go. Pivots are engaging. Let's get a good look at this. And this is where these things excel. Maybe not at this range, but I don't think he's hitting anything at that range. Who knows? No damage, okay. I see. don't seem right. What caliber? 20? Alright, you guys. Hold your fire. Go ahead and move to, like, here. If I'm lucky, they'll try to call in a fire mission on these guys and miss. Oh, no. Okay. That's not good. Hey, go ahead and waste your ATGM on that. Crap. I would have preferred not to lose those guys. Let's go ahead and get you over there. Ooh, first of all, who sees... Okay. Yeah, let's move this guy there. Move, unload. Let's bomb these guys. Oh, that was a lucky shot. Oh, nearly. He's going this way. Let's predict his movement. And then let's do another one, like, in the woods. No spotter. It's fine. It's just to kind of... Who knows? Maybe it'll start a fire or something. Oh, never mind. Hold on. I got someone up front. Fire! Should have already fired. I should have just... Alright. I should have let that go earlier, but fine. Let's put 3 on this guy. Alright. We lost the scout team already. And there's apparently scouts in there. Should have known that would happen. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's see about getting this guy backed up. Maybe I shouldn't have got so close to this building, but fuck it. Alright, planes. Let's call in this guy. And the planes. I can go this way. Alright, tanks have arrived. I need these guys to properly screen my tanks. So you stop. You go drop smoke, go this way. Watch like that. This guy. Might be a waste to shoot at that. Do it anyway. Actually, let's put 4 on this church. A little bit further back. Do like 10 rounds on that. It's in a good amount. Let's move you back to here. Alright, you guys. I don't want to move my tanks too close. Oh shit, I forgot I had my mech on a hold move order. Hopefully we don't regret that. Let's do a hold move for these guys. Have them in this area, facing that way. I'll move them when these guys get out of the way. Can you generate smoke? Who knows, maybe my air support will show up just in time to like cover these guys. These dudes ain't doing much, so I'm not really worried about them being there. Alright, so we got this. It's a good deal, good deal. I don't like how close they are to each other, but it's fine. Actually, yeah, let's spread them out and have them face this way and then echelon. Yeah, echelon. And then face this way. Alright, we're being attacked, so let's get these guys ready. Six guys and some smoke down. And then fall back. Hopefully they don't get struck by a rocket, RPG or whatever. Damn it, that's why I should do shortest path. They're going all the way around. Control S. Oh shit, we got some enemies up there. I don't like it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put smoke for him. Let's get this guy with mortars. Put some more on the church, but like 10 more. Come on, mech. Get your asses over here. Maybe I should like try and crack these guys with my gods. I don't know. They're gonna get discovered for sure. Should I? Yeah, they'll probably die. What I probably want to do is I probably want to fire this again. Maybe here? Let's put that there. We lost an Abrams, but looks like we had a good trade. At the point where I want to move these guys. He's damaged, so that's probably a light tank. That's a BMP. Yeah, we got him. We got him. Alright. Let's get you a little closer. Where the hell are they? Come on, you guys. Seriously? Go. Maybe I should, like, do one platoon at a time. I don't know. Go. Shortest path. Maybe that'll help. Alright. Do them one at a time. I'll send one straight up the middle, quickest path. They probably won't make it, but we'll just try. Yeah, helicopters. They did bring some BMPs though. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Come on, that's your job. Kill him. Don't stop. Keep going. Just make some smoke and go through it. Oh my god. Come on, you guys, you can do this. Dude. That's what I get for leaving my anti-air so far behind. Well, half of them are dead now. A bunch of my tanks died. Honestly, I already consider this a failure. Definitely. I shouldn't have had to lose so much. Already a failure. Way too many dead tanks. My mech got fucked. guys. Get up in there. That's probably what happened to my tanks, honestly. Now, should I fire this or move it? Let's move it. Actually, yeah, set target. I can't make it smaller, but I can do this. Or I could just go like that. This is closer to the objective. We'll do that. Now, you know, if this is reality, I still need to try and win. So that might consist of moving some guys around. Okay, did I just lose? I probably did. Wait, no, it says they lost. They lost, but I feel like I lost. Lost 7 vehicles. Yeah, that's rough on the tanks, bro. What is that? 1 left? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought there was more than 4 in one platoon. I guess it is 4. That's rough. I should have moved. Having, like, you know, I'm trying not to think in hindsight now that I know exactly what they did. So having these over here, not a terrible idea. Give them some cover against helicopters, but not against their, like, standoff long-range missiles. But you could kind of... The forest cover can help you against that. But I should have moved my tanks up with smoke generators on and moved like 1 platoon right behind the tanks, but right there with them should have been these guys. So they're like concealed by smoke. These guys, these Mi-24s would have still probably killed a tank, but most of this column would have been covered, and we could have shot them down or scared them away before they really wreaked too much havoc. That would have been ideal. Or, like, if this were combat mission, I would have taken these man pads and moved them up closer. I might have put them in there or something in this building. Or, like, right here on the edge, something like that. But you can't do that. They're on foot, which is, like, an unfortunate flaw of this game. These guys are kind of stuck to the area that they get deployed in. There's like an exception to that, which is like certain HQ units have manpad. It's not letting me see right now, but I think this one does. It has like a manpad guy in it. Stinger missiles, yeah. So yeah, that's what I should have done. And then I would have taken that first platoon and dismounted them and have them kind of try and push through the forest first while I put more fires here and here. Should have split my artillery in half. You know, half my guns fire here, half my guns fire here, and just use the mortars as I see enemies or to kind of like as an area denial while I set up positions with that 1 platoon. You know, not knowing if they have artillery or not, kind of assuming they do, which they didn't, but that way, you know, you can move some tanks to here, but not all of them. I should have put like 2 here, and it had some of them kind of hiding back here. And then a second platoon kind of taking up a nearby position, and a third one just rushing straight in under cover of like smoke and artillery. Which, like, I like when I have a company like this, I like to have at least 1 platoon do something like risky, to like go out far and try and like get there first and get good positions, and then use another one like medium risk, and then another one to like reinforce the losses you'll take from like artillery and mortars for the most important one, which is like the medium risk one, which goes for the objective, hopefully through cover. That's what I should have done, but I got a little bit cocky. I was like, oh, I got these Abrams, they'll be really good up here, but I wasn't really thinking about the helicopters, and I forgot to send these guys with the tanks. So there's the risk of, adding a delayed order. You may or may not remember to activate it. And these guys, I think, did a lot of work. I think these helicopters did a lot of work. This area being so open. So, yeah, I mean, in reality, not great. It's considered a win. I mean, yeah, like percentage wise of losses, a little bit high on the vehicle losses. I would have rather have lost like 3 or 4. The troop losses, that about makes sense. But having 1991 United States was just like the best in this game in a lot of aspects. I should have taken less vehicle losses. But, sometimes there's, sometimes even if you do bring these up closer and have man pads, these guys have those missiles that they can fire from really long ways. These AT-6 spirals can mess you up even if you do everything right. So that's like one of the things that gets lost in this game is that you can't have although you can technically engage these with your choppers, you would need to have your HQ up there and then call for casts from the HQ, which I think you can only do once. I'm not sure about how that system works, but you can call them over to the HQ. But by then, you've already probably taken those losses. And calling in an airplane is good. They can shoot at them too, but it takes a long time. It's very much not guaranteed. They just kind of pick what they want to pick to attack within a certain area. What this game could benefit from massively is having a air patrol option, like having an air support air patrol option. That way you can just designate an area and say, okay, kind of loiter around the battle space until you see an air target and then engage it. That would be greatly helpful for simulating this type of battle. My neighbors are screaming. Because in reality, ideally, there would be situations where they couldn't, but in reality, NATO would be contesting the airspace heavily. You wouldn't, it wouldn't be common to just have helicopters like in a battle of this size, getting this close and getting kills like that. They would be getting messed up from all types of different assets. It's not to say that they wouldn't do it ever. They had a lot of helicopters, and they still do. Russia does. But in a battle of this size, these guys would be like further back. They would probably snipe a couple of vehicles and then like hide behind the terrain or something because the air would be contested. They would be essentially making trades. That's how it would be. But in this game, that's just how it is. That's why most of the time you'll see me play with either give myself air support and give the enemy like way more troops to kind of make up for it, just to be able to play with air support, or just turn it completely off because there's not a whole lot you can do about it unless you want to like stay in cover all the time, which means like going through forests, which is really, I hate it. It sucks. Your vehicles can get immobilized, especially if the ground conditions aren't set to good, which I don't always like to set them to good. Yeah. I mean, air is like a huge pain in the ass in this game. It needs some alterations. It needs some more things added to where it can feel more like fluid part of the strategy. Because right now it just feels like really clunky and overpowered. Whoever has it can often just like, they can tank so many hits from anti-air missiles and shit like that. Not even just like using countermeasures to distract the missile. I mean, like, actually, they can take so much fire. It's ridiculous. But, yeah. That was this battle. not a great outcome, not horrible. I could have done a lot better. But I think I'm gonna do another one. I might upload twice today. I'm gonna do one where, like I said before, where I play as Finland and do like a motorized infantry or like light mechanized and fight with some older tanks versus like a technologically superior Soviet army and see if I can dislodge them from a village. That's what I'm wanting to do. So this was just me like playing around with this new map. But all right, I'll catch y'all later.